Hey, great to have you here. Welcome to the program. Thanks. Great radio stations across the land. Newsmax TV, iHeartRadio. It's the Joe Pag Show for a Wednesday. That is a hump day. We start the week at the bottom of the hill on a Monday morning. We get through Monday, then we go through Tuesday, then we go through Wednesday. After Wednesday, we get over the midweek hump. Downhill to the weekend from here. Let's check in with Fergie.
My hump, my hump.
Your what?
My hump, my hump, my hump.
Carrie, what's she saying?
My hump, my hump, my hump.
You know
Sounds like
My hump, my hump, my hump. Check it out.
it's inappropriate, but we will check it out. We appreciate it. I think it's an old military saying, getting over the midweek hump, to be honest with you. I think it's an old military.
What Fergie's talking about.
I think it's an old military saying.
Getting over the middle of the week.
Pretty sure it's a military saying.
I don't think so.
By the way, adding a great radio station today, we want to say thank you very much to WPNN, which is both an AM and an FM, 103.7 FM and 790 AM. And we really appreciate you bringing us on. Rob Williams is a great guy. Talked to him on his program today. And just really, really cool to be in Pensacola, Florida. Now, he says we have to go there and go enjoy the beach, the white sandy beaches.
To do that. Yeah, we should all go.
So I'm probably going to go. And
well, now, what about the rest of us?
Well, I would definitely send pictures, and we'll post them on Facebook and all of that stuff.
No, we actually want to go see the beach for ourselves.
Explain to, and again, thank you so much. Great to be on in Pensacola starting tonight. Do me a favor and get a news story rating of what's happening in Charlotte. In the meantime, also tell the folks, and again, Carrie's my news anchor, General Payne. Tell the folks what the term efforting means. Efforting is not really even a word.
No, it means we're trying. We're in the process of doing so.
It's a big-time broadcast term that if instead of saying trying, which would be easy to understand and simplistic, we say efforting. We're efforting because that somehow makes it seem like we're trying that much harder. I don't know why we use the term.
I don't.
Another thing that's pretty interesting, when I was in television news, when you wrote a lead to a story, which would be LEAD, it's the first part of the the people would misspell it LEDE as if that's somehow journalistic. It was very strange to me. So I'm not really sure. Well, we are efforting to get Sheriff David Clark on. He's the Milwaukee County Sheriff, and we're hoping to have him at the bottom of the hour. The thing is, he's got a speech he's giving to the NRA, I believe, today. And also because of what's going on in Charlotte, what's going on in Tulsa, he has been on, all sorts of networks. He's been on all sorts of radio shows. I'm in there. And we're friends, and we're good with David Clark, and we can get the sheriff on, we will. It'll be at the bottom of this hour. So, Karina, heads up. You probably will, hopefully you'll be getting a call from Sheriff Clark at the bottom. If not, we completely understand, and we'll have him on as soon as we possibly can. I want to talk about what's going on in Charlotte, what related to what's going on in Tulsa, what related to what's going on and what we're hearing from the Nation of Islam. We need to talk about this and have a real conversation about it. And you guys know that I talk about race relations all the time. You guys know that I talk about how I'm living MLK's dream. He had a dream, and I'm living the way he wanted us to. That's who I am. If you don't believe it, then you don't know me. You're not listening very well. I don't have to prove it to you. I know that's what I'm doing. Having said that, watching the video from Charlotte, North Carolina, after a police shooting, and seeing how people reacted and hearing about the number of injured police officers, it makes my skin crawl. It makes my blood boil. It makes my heart hurt. So, Carrie, if you can, give us the latest update on what happened in Charlotte, North Carolina, and then I will then give my take on it, and we'll take phone calls, and we'll try to solve. We need to solve the problem now. The problem is, in my not very humble opinion, we're not even talking about what the problem is. But so go ahead if you can.
Protesters blocked a highway and clashed with police in Charlotte, North Carolina early on Wednesday morning after officers fatally shot a black man they say had a gun when they approached him in a parking lot. About a dozen officers and several protesters suffered non-life-threatening injuries during an hours-long demonstration near where Keith Lamont Scott, 43, was shot by a policeman on Tuesday afternoon, police and local media said on social media. Early Wednesday morning, protesters blocked Interstate 85 where they stole boxes from trucks and started fires before police used flash grenades in an attempt to disperse the angry crowd, an ABC affiliate in Charlotte reported. A group of protesters then tried to break into a Walmart store before police arrived and began guarding its front entryway. Video footage by local media showed. Earlier in the evening, police in riot gear reportedly used tear gas on protesters who threw rocks and water bottles at them as they wielded large sticks and blocked traffic. One officer was sent to the hospital after being struck in the head by a rock, police said. Scott was shot by Officer Brentley Vinson earlier in the day, according to Charlotte Mecklenburg Police. The shooting occurred when officers were at an apartment complex searching for a suspect with an outstanding warrant.
Right.
And they saw Scott get out of his vehicle with a firearm, the department said. Vincent fired his weapon and struck Scott, who, quote, posed an imminent deadly threat to the officers, the department said in a statement. Vincent, who joined the Charlotte Police Force in July 2014, is black. According to the department, he has been placed on paid administrative leave.
Okay, so there are some important facts here that we have to make sure that we get out. One thing that's not in that story is that this man's daughter then jumps on Facebook Live and says, my father had a book. Why did they murder him? They murdered him. He had a book. Mm-hmm. The police, is it the chief or the captain? I believe there's police chief in Charlotte, Mecklenburg. The police chief came out and said, that's not true. There was a firearm that he had. The officers felt they were in imminent danger. And his last name is Vincent, correct?
Yes.
Officer Vincent shot and killed him. Few things that are important, because if you went on social media last night, what you found out from the social media warriors was that they thought they knew what they didn't know. They thought they knew it was a book. They thought they knew the man posed no threat. They thought they knew that the man didn't have a firearm. They thought that they knew the man was murdered in cold blood, and they thought they knew the man was killed and he was unarmed, and it was probably a white police officer. What we actually know is, according to the black police chief and the black police officer, this man had a gun. There were several police officers there, several witnesses there, who all agree. They corroborate the version from the police in this, that the man had a gun. Well, he was special needs or something. The police officer doesn't know what his deal is, other than he's got a gun. Now, I don't know if the gun was pointed, the gun was cocked, the gun was waved around. I don't know. And I am going to wait for more information before I dare speculate on the actual, 2 + 2 is 4 of this case, the nuts and bolts, if you will. But I will tell you this. In this country, in 2016, under this president who has set this division up the way it is, who has divided us and segregated us worse than we've seen in 50 years. In this country, here's what we have to assume, especially if you're white. We have to assume that the person who was shot by police, if black, if white, no big deal. If Hispanic, not a problem. If Native American, American Indian, no problem here, nothing to see. If Asian, whatever. But if the person who is shot by police is in fact black, and by the way, people are, why don't you say African American? Because the people that I'm talking about are not here from Africa. I'm not Italian American. I'm an American of predominantly Italian descent. That's how I see myself. If you see me rob a bank, you'd say, dude, it was a white guy. So don't give me this whole crap that saying black is somehow racist. It's not. If the person who was shot by police is in fact black, then we must assume the following. He was unarmed. He was oppressed. He has ancestors that were slaves. The white police officer, it's assumed it's a white police officer. The white police officer went to work that day to kill a black person, and now it's time to riot. And rioting equals stopping trucks and stealing boxes off the trucks. That's going to make the black man less dead. Rioting is burning down the local businesses that help to support the economy in your neighborhood, because that's going to somehow make the shooting go away. Rioting is looting a Walmart, because that's somehow going to make the riot, the police shooting and the oppression, the alleged oppression, go away. Rioting is injuring 16 police officers, because that somehow will mean the man definitely was unarmed and definitely was oppressed and definitely was shot only because he was black. That's what we have to assume. After we make all those assumptions and we give everybody a pass, one person was locked up for rioting last night. One. Now, there are 16 injured police. Carrie, any indication that the 16 police officers were all injured by one person?
No.
I'm guessing not.
Yeah.
We've got all sorts of video of rioters. These are not peaceful protesters. These are rioters. And by the way, what are you protesting? The man had a gun. Are you saying that the black police chief is lying? The black police officer who shot him was lying? All the witnesses are all lying? Now it's time to protest? What are you protesting? Well, he's allowed to have a gun. It's a concealed carry state. Did he have a concealed carry license? Was it concealed, or did he have it in his hand? How did the cop know he had a gun? Come on, man. Use your head here. So we have to make all those assumptions anytime somebody who happens to be black is shot by police. Then we can start backtracking. Well, it turns out the chief was black. It turns out the cop was black. It turns out he had a gun. It turns out. So I went on Twitter last night and responded to a lot of these, jump to conclusion idiots. And I said, you don't know what you think you know. You don't. Stop pretending you do. Stop it. It just doesn't make any sense. The allegation is that the peaceful protesters at all these places, all they want is equal justice. All they want is their due process. So in asking for the due process, all of those assumptions are made after every police shooting. Have you heard anything about the Milwaukee police shooting lately? Carrie, you heard anything about that one lately?
No, I have not.
You know why?
Why?
Because the dead guy had a gun, and the guy who shot him was black. Haven't heard a whole lot about the St. Paul shooting recently. You wonder why that happened. It just sort of went away. You still hear about Alton Sterling, but not as much. He had a gun. You're still hearing about Michael Brown, who attacked a police officer, according to Eric Holder, not according to me. But they slowly but surely go away if it doesn't look like all the assumptions. Now, Tulsa is not going to go away anytime soon because that was a white female police officer who shot and killed that unarmed black man. That's not going to go away. If you want equal justice and due process, if you want justice, you don't bring in the Nation of Islam to say all the lies that this idiot Murphy said today. You don't bring in Al Sharpton to get the spotlight and to give himself some more publicity. What you do is you let justice happen. Like what's going on in South Carolina. Walter Scott was killed. He was shot in the back. Everything was on that video. That police officer stands murder charges. He's gonna face a jury. That's equal justice. Stop with the assumptions. Stop with the hate immediately. Stop with the cries of oppression when you don't know anything about the situation. And really start working together as a community that can be white, black, Hispanic, other. It doesn't have to be blacks here, whites here, Hispanics there, and so on. That's what Obama wants. That's what Clinton wants. That's what Sharpton wants. That's what Jackson wants. They want that because then it keeps you under control and it keeps you angry. And it keeps you voting Democrat, which is really the goal here. 1-800-383-9624, 1-800-383-9624, joepags.com. Do you have a solution to everything I just talked about? The jump to conclusion, the not getting the story straight, the assumption that if it's white, they were wrong, if it's black, they were right. Is there some way to bring people of different colors, backgrounds, ancestries, races, ethnicities? Can we bring people back together in America? Or is it a done deal? The left has won, Democrats have won, they have segregated everybody again, and we're just going to accept it. 1-800-383-9624, stay right here.